Obviously a disappointing loss. We were competitive there for 3.5 quarters. Kind of slipped away when I decided to do the squib onside kick. Was there all week, practice it. I even told the team when we scored coming out of half that we were going to execute it. We just didn't. We miskicked it, and ended up hurting us. And I got to live with that. But the players played much better offensively. Unfortunately, we didn't play good enough on defense as far as tackling and doing our jobs in coverage. And credit to Washington. They got some real talent on that team. And for the most part, I thought we hung with them until it got ugly there in the middle of the third. So we'll grow from it. There's a team in there that I know that wants to respond. Just on some unfortunate things that I felt like our best defense was to keep our offense on the field the way we were operating. I'm proud of Zevi. Played well, and he got put in a tough situation, and he did everything he could to get us out of it, and then we just didn't do enough, obviously. It's a huge loss.
Coach, what do you kind of think went into just the kind of mid-third quarter, early fourth quarter, where it kind of seemed like things got ugly, 28-0 in the fourth quarter? What was kind of the contributing factor to that?
We've lost a lot of people. Obviously, you saw Bryson Lamb didn't play today. He got hurt. He couldn't make some of this stuff up. He got hurt in warm-ups, and then Max Balloon went down with the knee. So a lot of guys in there rotating, and our depth at D-line naturally just shrunk, and we're going to look to see who's next in the mix. We've kind of been plagued a little bit with injuries as a full team. I don't think the world has seen what we're capable of if we're all healthy. And then they just, I think that they are a much improved O-line than the one that we saw last year. Just the film and the players that they've brought in, the running backs are really good. And obviously when you have a quarterback like that can run around and extend plays with his legs and make one-on-one people, or make the one-on-one miss, he can kill you because he can throw so well too. And there were some matchups we didn't win on the perimeter. There were some looks that we didn't get off of blocks, and you can't not get off of a block and let one run because he's good. And we just didn't make plays today.
I know for you guys, if the 14 points was, or I think it was kind of the number, 59 back-to-back weeks. What is it that maybe kind of when you look at film, you're trying to find, gets it back closer to where you're kind of aiming for and not up in the high 50s?
Yeah, today last week there's accumulation of errors, and this week there's accumulation of errors. Some of it was just mistackling too, and allowing, we got them to backed up multiple times on second and long situations. We just couldn't make the most of the situation when we had the opportunity to make the play. We had them kind of wrapped up. We let them out of our grasp up front, and he rips the ball in there and gets a first down. The other ones, like we thought we had a beat on run pass, and they run the ball and they split us up the middle and he gets a huge gain. We need to get back to the basics of just doing the basics better, and it's not always about trying to protect all of the players all the time in the scheme and the coverage. We got to be able to execute just the basic fundamentals of wrapping up and making plays, and tonight we failed at that.
So you told Zevi on Sunday he'd be starting this game. So you didn't hold the kind of competition that you would have described?
I never did, no, because I kind of knew who I was going to. Here's the reality. We don't have the resources naturally to compete with $30 million, all right? A roster that's loaded. But I need to make those coaches work for, extended period of time to go back and watch Julian Duggar play in the bowl game and watch Zevi play against Syracuse. And obviously the reps that Jackson and all those guys have taken this year. Wrong or right, the reality is there's some gamesmanship in this a little bit as far as if you don't have all the moving pieces that you want at the current moment. And we need to grow, and we will. But, yeah, I felt like last game Zevi's leadership kind of felt its spark. I think everybody saw that today, just his ability to semi-create with his legs and then throw on the move and hit moving targets when they have to pull him up on scramble. And I'm proud of him, just how consistent he's been. I think he's grown just sense of leadership and leading the right way and leading authentically and not leading just to be the starting quarterback.
On defense, how many of the problems that you guys encountered do you think were symptomatic of some, fundamental mistakes versus, having them having some talent that you may not see again the rest of the season?
A little bit of both. Yeah.
Coach, is there anything that jumped out at you at what led specifically to the struggles on third down on defense?
Yeah, one-on-one matchups a little bit, and inability to get home, and then his ability to create with his legs. It doesn't matter. It's on me, and it's coaching, and we're going to grow from it.
You like out of Zevi's performance?
Just his ability to create. I thought he did a good job of making smart decisions throughout the first half and really into the third quarter. He kept it tight. His ability to move and throw the ball on the run was critical in that game. We felt like that, and obviously, we won some one-on-one matchups there, and we're able to move the pocket. I thought offensively we had a good game plan. We just didn't finish, and part of that is the amount of drives that we were having defensively that we couldn't get off the field. We got them to backed up again, and we just didn't make the plays.
Jimmy, the success you see Zevi have tonight, I think it leads a lot to the question of why wasn't he the starter 3 weeks ago?
That's a great question. But it goes back to just the quarterback competition that we had, and I think if you ask him, he'll tell you that he didn't play his best throughout fall camp, and but he's a competitor, and he stepped into the lights tonight and made the most of it, and it was a decision I made, but I do believe that he's going to continue to make plays and grow from the mistakes that he made tonight.
Is there any reason to think he's not your starter moving forward?
No, he'll be the starter. Some of his errors weren't on him either. Yeah.
When you got Devin Ellison back on the field, and then obviously there was some momentum plays with him. What did you see from him in his first game in Crimson and Gray?
Yeah, I saw what we thought we saw when we recruited him. And he's been so much better being locked in and committed to the process and doing what he's asked to do the last couple of weeks. Obviously, I would have liked to start the season like that, but it just didn't go in our favor in that sense. But he'll be back, and he needs to stay the course, and he needs to keep growing and mentally learning the scheme, and we need to get him ready for sure.
Talked about Zevi leading in an authentic way, not just to be the starter, but to be a leader. What does that look like day to day?
Well, he's always the first one in here, and he watches a ton of film. He'll be in here tomorrow. I don't even have to question that. He'll just want to keep growing, and he's been like that. It means leading with purpose, not leading to be heard, and he's gotten so much better in that way. He's the guys rally behind him. I felt like he gave us a spark tonight. I think he'll give us a spark in the future. He's a really competitive kid, and he's handled the situation really well, and I'm proud of him. And I know that he'll respond and get the group going in the right direction next week.
It didn't matter in the grand scheme, but you do the onside kick towards the beginning of the third quarter. What were you looking for in that moment?
Well, we had the look. We didn't execute the kick. Kid was on the hash, and there was about 14 yards, and we'd executed all week, and we felt like we had it, and that was a freshman that was out there. He's a good player. And flatter, we make that play, and then it's not seen as what it is now. So I knew we had to be aggressive, and I knew that we needed to keep our offense on the field because the way we were moving the ball, obviously to come out of half like that and then march down the field with some big plays and score. I didn't want to look back at this and second guess that opportunity when it was there for the initial 3 kickoffs, and it just didn't work out. And that's the game of football, and I got to own it, and it's on me, and we'll move forward.
Times in the second half you were able to cut it down to a one-possession game. Is this a game that you felt like you were only a couple of plays away versus what the final score might say to somebody who didn't watch this game?
I mean, I don't really believe in moral victories. You gotta, we talk about finishing, and we gotta finish the game. I mean, the score got away from us. So in the end, we got to be able to execute for 4 quarters. The game isn't 3.5 quarters. It's not 3 quarters. It's 4 quarters. It's 60 minutes, and we got to execute, and we got to win close games. We got to grow as a team, and I believe that we have the good enough leadership to bounce back from this. Obviously, some injuries will limit us in some capacity of how we practice, but I just I know the team knows that they're better than what we've been playing like, and we just got to continue to chop at the bit to keep coming closer and closer together.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.